Welcome back, guys, to Yankees Unloaded. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and unfortunately today we will not have Gary Sheffield Jr., who is in the process of moving, something I will be doing very soon, so I understand. But the show must go on, as I mentioned in the first video yesterday. We're talking Yankees Guardians, and unfortunately we're talking about a loss 8-7 in 10 innings. I got a lot of thoughts on this. Before we get started, be sure to follow all of us on social media at Yankees Unloaded, anywhere you get your social media. At JK Bogan, you can follow me, and you can follow Gary Sheffield Jr. at Gary Sheffield Jr. So, man, the Yankees did not get the best start out of Nestor Cortes. Gave up 4 earned runs. He did strike out 6 guys, but he gave up 2 home runs. Not his best outing. Only gave him 4 innings of work. So Aaron Boone had to go to the bullpen. In the bullpen, I thought Birdie pitched really well today. Nick Birdie struck out 2 in his 3 batters he took down. Victor Gonzalez gave you, 1 1/3, which is really good outing for him. I thought Luke Weaver pitched well. A mistake pitch, of course, cost him. Former Yankee Estevan Florial took him deep for the second time in this series. Then you had Clay Holmes coming in, and, he did really well closing out the 9th inning. And unfortunately, it wasn't a closing opportunity, but, he shut down the 9th. And then Caleb Ferguson comes in and, gave up 2 earned runs. Not his best performance. Gave up 2 hits, hard hit balls off the bat. But I have a bone to pick with not only just the middle infield defense. I love Anthony Volpe, and we're going to get to him. His offense was great. But we can't sit here and just discredit, somebody's or rather not discredit someone's defense when they play poorly because how good they are on offense. And that's the thing. Like, I want to make this fair. I want to be, fair in my criticisms and what have you. I've been very, critical of Jose Trevino, and I thought today, he played really well. He actually, got on and, he had 2 hits and, he had a home run as well in the 4th inning. So I'm not going to sit here and just backpedal. Like, I'm going to stand by, what I truly believe in. And, I think really what it comes down to is this game, and we'll get into everything, but just talking about the ending of this game, the thing that upset me the most was that it was a combination of things, but it was a combination of things that were pretty fundamental. You talk about the ground ball, to Glaber, the Volpe unable to turn 2 where the ball just comes out of his glove. He would have easily been able to throw out Naylor if so. And then, of course, Naylor ends up, putting the nail in the coffin, if you will, scoring on that run. And I'll say this, Glaber, he's been spotty on offense this year. He's hitting 203. I know he had a hit today, but that defensive play, and I'm a big fan of his. I'm a believer that, he's going to be around for a long time, but if he continues to make plays like that in the infield, he won't be. And I just really am getting tired of seeing these errors in, the error column for the Yankees. 2 today. You could have honestly given Volpe an error. I know it was, they got the force out at second. It's considered a fielder's choice, but the bobbling, not being able to make that play cost them. They're out of the inning, well, essentially not out of the inning, but you get the 2 outs there. You're trading the run to get 2 outs, and you only get 1 out. So it's just really not a great play. Rizzo had 2 fielding errors today. Rizzo continues to be really frustrating as a fielder. And you have to wonder, the comments he made about, his peripheral vision, how it wasn't the same after the concussion. Like, you have to wonder, is it still affecting him? Because he went from a plus fielder to he's really struggling. This is his 4th error of the year. It's not good, so it's really the fundamentals. And the thing that's frustrating is this team went out, they sought out to find, a big, response, an answer in left field. And they did that in Verdugo, who's made, play after play, it seems like, with his range in left field because he's a plus fielder. And I think in doing so, you thought that you took care of everything. Volpe, being a Gold Glove guy. I mean, Gleyber's not the best fielder. He's never been the best fielder, but he has his moments. And Rizzo is a plus first base, guy. So it's frustrating to see that the fundamentals, and then in addition to that, so as frustrating as that was, and I'm going to preface it by saying I've been giving Boone a lot of credit this year. I am going to criticize him. I don't understand how in that inning, when you have two guys on, second and third, you don't put a guy on first and make an any base force out with 2 outs or with 1 out. I don't understand that. That is the thing that's so mind-boggling to me, because you have Naylor at home, and instead at that point, Gleyber has a tough time fielding it. First off, because you went infield in, so it's hard hit off the bat, because let's be honest, Ferguson was not locating well at all today. His ERA is now over 4. He hasn't looked super great. He's had his moments, but for the most part, I'm not overly impressed with Ferguson. And there's a reason why he gets the blown save in this one. I mean, you have a 2-run lead and you give up 3 runs. Just not acceptable. But at the same time, the defense didn't help him out. And at the same time in that, Boone has them in a infield in with second and third to prevent the run at home. And then Gleyber bobbles it because it's hard hit. And it's look, I'm going to be honest with you here. It was a mistake not to make it in any base force out. I'm not saying it 100% wins you the game. Okay. If you walk the bases loaded, you 100% get the double play. But I just feel like a guy like Aaron Boone, that seems to really always be on top of those, late game situations, right, did not at all show that he was on top of this. I thought the infield in was a dumb thing. I thought you should have stayed back. I understand you're trying to stop the runner. The runner is not Juan Pierre at third. It's, it's Naylor. If it's cleanly fielded, Naylor shouldn't have gone anyway. He got lucky. If it's clearly, cleanly fielded, he's out. So that was a really frustrating thing, but not walking the bases loaded and making it a force out on any base, that also was really a dumb decision. And by the way, if it's a force on any base and that same hit ball goes to Gleyber, the throw beat Naylor. He would have gotten the force out at home. But the problem is, because there's no force out, Naylor doesn't have to go home. He's going home by choice. And because he's going home by choice, now you have to tag him. And it just wasn't in time. And then, of course, you have the deep fly ball, and Soto throws it in, and Cleveland celebrates like they won the World Series. Okay, let's just talk about the rest of the game, because I thought the ending was really unfortunate. The reason why I'm so, I guess I was pissed off about it and frustrated is because they did such a good job of getting back in this game. So they start off, they have a 3-run inning. Cleveland has a 2-run inning. Then they take a 4-2 lead. Then Cleveland adds 2 runs in the 5th to, make it 4-4. Cleveland takes the lead in the 8th with the Florial home run, the mistake pitch, in the 8th. And now it's 5-4. The Yankees come up and they get that run there in the 9th to make it 5-5. It's the Volpe double. And then you have your 2-run 10th inning, which was great. They should have gotten more, by the way. That ends up coming back to haunt them. But the 2-run 10th inning, and then they get 3 in the 10th. But the thing that frustrates me the most is late in the game, you have your leadoff hitter, Anthony Volpe. The reason why he's a leadoff hitter, folks, reason why Gary and I fought tooth and nail to put that out there, goes 3 for 4 today with a walk. But the most important at-bat of the day is going up against Emmanuel Clase, who probably is the best closer in baseball. And he hits a rocket, okay? An absolute rocket for a double. And that was so huge, key and critical, because in that moment, Anthony Volpe just drove in Cabrera's able to score from first. That was so massive. I can't even tell you, because when Volpe did that, that was the hardest. I think that was the toughest matchup that you could have had. And Clase, I thought, was really going to just shut the door. And they came through, and Volpe had a great, 2-out double. That was huge. And, I mean, it was huge for Cabrera to get on, if we're being honest. So, look, to come back the way they did, because they had the Trevino home run to make it 4-2, and then they lost the lead in the eighth, to come back the way they did with Volpe, doubling off of one of the most feared pitchers in the league. And then the 10th inning, Rizzo has the single to right, scoring Judge and Soto, and you get Stanton on second. And it's just like, I feel like there's no way that they should have lost this game. And yet, I'm not going to hate on Boone for not pitching Clay Holmes an extra inning, but it makes you wonder, would they have won with Clay Holmes in an extra inning? Did they have to go to Caleb Ferguson? I don't know if I know it's a 2-run lead, but you have the ghost runner on second to start. I don't know if I would have trusted Caleb Ferguson in this spot, but unfortunately their bullpen was run tight because they didn't get a great day today out of Cortez. Cortez goes 6. Maybe you decide, look, you go with Birdie, or maybe you go with Gonzalez. Maybe you pitch Luke Weaver. Like, one of those guys might have been available for this spot. Just really, really frustrating to lose a game like that. Yankees still won the series. They're still a 12-4 ball club, 8-2 on the road. But that was really frustrating because, again, I just think that they really wrestled, victory, just totally wrestled victory away that they had. They were 3 for 6 today with runners in scoring position. Shout out to Rizzo, Stanton, and Judge for coming through. I thought Trevino really stepped up. He had the 2-hit day and he had the home run. So you got to give him his props. Volpe was great. Soto was great. Judge was huge. He had the home run today, the 3-run shot to start the day. So he was huge. Stanton had 2 hits. And he had a hit like a dribbler to third, but however you can get on, man, he hustled. So you got to give him props. Not the best day for Verdugo. He did walk. And Cabrera, of course, had he got on base as well. But I'm just, I just got to be honest, man. I don't love losing a game like that. I understand things happen and maybe I shouldn't be as upset as I am. And look, this team, you're going to lose plenty of games like this. They'll probably lose 10 more games like this. But this is a game, to me, this is on Boone, this is on Rizzo, and this is on, or not Rizzo, this is on Volpe, and this is on Torres. And really, it's on Torres and Boone mainly. I mean, Volpe needs to, get that transfer and everything, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, just a wicked frustrating day. They really should have won. They lost 8-7. I think you're seeing some really good at bats from this team, though. They're getting better and better, it seems like. And tomorrow they have a game at Toronto going up against the 8-8 Blue Jays, who they've already faced. So they have Toronto again. Chris Bassett versus Luis Heel. I gotta say, you gotta get more out of Cortez. Today really wasn't acceptable. He needs to pitch better. I mean, it really is that simple. You can't be, taxing your bullpen this early on in the season. And especially, the game that Cody Poteet gave you, completely same lineup, by the way. He gives you that, that game out of the minor leagues as the 27th man. And then you turn to what right now is, your ace in Nestor Cortez, and he gives you that. It's just not acceptable. So, look, tomorrow is a new day. The Yankees, again, have the Jays at 7:07, in Toronto. Luis Heel versus Chris Bassett. I think Heel is going to get this win. I don't know if he'll finish the game. I don't know if he'll get, qualify because the pitch count and everything. And they did technically skip his start a bit. But I I think that he is going to lead the Yankees to a win over the Blue Jays. The Yankees continue to play well on the road, and late in games, they've really gotten the bats working. It's a big reason why they've been able to win so many. But this fielding has to be better. I mean, think about this right now. If it's frustrating to you and me in game 16 of the year, how is it going to be in the postseason? How is it going to be when runs are a premium in the postseason? When you're talking 2-1 games, you're talking 3-2 in the 8th inning, and you have a grounder to, you have a grounder to Glaber, and he bobbles it and a run scores. And then you have a grounder to Glaber, and he sends it over to Volpe, and then Volpe can't get that double play to get out of the inning. That's going to be a problem. So, or even Rizzo not being able to pick the ball like he was able to do pretty much his whole career up until now. So the fielding is an issue. I don't think I'm overstating it or overblowing it. We'll see. I think tomorrow you're probably going to see Wells in the lineup. He's been off, I think, the last 2 games, I want to say. Well, no, they had the doubleheader. So I think you get Wells in the lineup, with heel pitching. Probably you'll see Stanton again, I would imagine. You'll see Soto. I don't think anybody's going to have a day off. I can't see that. I mean, I think if they gave anybody off, maybe they give Judge like a day off in the outfield or something like that. And I don't know. But either way, the Yankees have seen this team. Okay, they didn't have a really big issue against this team. They won the series, and they won another series, to be fair. They won now 5 in a row. So they're going to win their 6th series here. That's the hope. I think they're going to do it. I really do think they're the best team in baseball, and I think today kind of showed it. Even with the defensive woes, they should have won this game. And the fact that they were able to come back against such a dominant pitcher in Clase is the good that I will take away from it. You never want to lose a game like that. But being able to fight back and battle against, one of the feared pitchers in the league late in the game on the road, I'll take that. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell icon. You'll never miss another Yankees Unloaded video. And, of course, be sure to follow us all on social media at Gary Sheffield Jr., at JK Bogan, and at Yankees Unloaded. Gary will hopefully be back in the next episode. But regardless, he'll be back. So don't worry about it. If it takes, another day or so, don't worry about it. My guy Gary will be back. He's in the process of moving, which is something I will be doing at the end of the month as well. So, obviously that can be a little stressful and things can get out of order. So, we'll see him when we see him. But with that said, I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Well, enjoy it as much as you can for a post game following a brutal loss in the 10th inning. But that's all I got for you guys. You take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.